I want to talk about Boise's local business market and why you should be scared to death and also super excited about where Boise is right now and where we are going. Now, Boise in 2021 had a population of around 800,000, and that number is growing, and there really isn't any good data since then that gives us a population number. And that means there's been a lot of crazy change over the last 4 years. And it'll kind of be interesting to see where we really are. That being said, the local businesses, I think since 2021, if I would go back to 2021 and I'm driving around, I'm not seeing a lot of these branded trucks, but over the last 4 years, the 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 amount of branded business trucks and the quality of branding has definitely been going up. Right? So like I said, 4 years ago, I would have rarely seen a branded truck driving around with one of these, crazy local brands with a bunch of art on it or that really stick out. And over time, now when I drive around, I can't help but see one of these really well branded local service or local business trucks. And so that, I think, is sign number one as to where Boise is going. We are getting towards the precipice of major competition with local business. Now, the second thing I think that's important here is what I call the IKEA rule. Now, if you don't know, there isn't an IKEA here because of our population. IKEA will not move into a local metro area until that metro area's population reaches 1 million. This is interesting because, once again, 800K 4 years ago, where are we? When this number gets updated, IKEA is just one of many businesses that must have this exact same rule. So basically, it's like a bunch of hounds on the leash, right? And they're just getting held back by this one little thing. And as soon as we cross that 1 million, boom, this place is going to explode with private equity, which I think is just being held back just by these small things, right? They just need that population to get over the precipice, and we're super close to that. So where this to me is scary is that if you do not have a local brand, if you are not being able to dominate in search, in Google ads, in LSA ads, if you cannot make that profitable today without all this private equity money and all these big businesses coming in and trying to dominate the local area for services, if you can't make it work today, you sure won't make it tomorrow, because they are going to outspend the living daylights out of the market. That being said, the positive side of this is that you can be the beneficiary of that money coming in. What that means is that you could be in a position in 3 years. It doesn't take that long to build a massive business brand and really dominate. Be amazed at what you could do over a year, let alone 3 years. You could be the beneficiary of selling your business into that kind of a boom when it's a seller's market and private equity wants to come in and buy businesses. But either way, I think there's still time for local businesses to really build a brand that stands out and start dominating the area and either compete with the money when it comes in or take the money when it comes in. But either way, be in a position to really benefit. If you're living in Boise right now and you have a business or you're starting a business, or you're kind of in a lucky place where you're still not being over dominated and you have an opportunity right now to take advantage of what a lot of people would be looking for. I think if you were going to select a city to just move to start a business where it's not overly crowded, but that there's a population there, we're right there. This is an ideal scenario. So that's, I think, the state of Boise currently right now. So look, if you have a local business, if you are starting one, if you want to start one, if you have one that you've had for a while, but you're just not really crushing it, and you want to start building up that brand and preparing for this kind of an inflow of capital and competition, let's talk. Feel free to give me a call. I always love talking about business or talking about SEO, marketing, whatever. Either way, I think you should take advantage of the current market and really start building a brand that can stick out, because this place is going to continue to grow and continue to be a very good place to build a business.